Good evening from Seattle, Washington State. Right now it is 6 and 3 p.m. And I'm Bhikkhu Maniputo Sokthevi. I would like to first pay my homage to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, respected Venerable Maha Sangha around the globe and dear Dhamma friends. Also would like to pay respect to Most Venerable Vajrapanyo, Dr. Kusupip, live from Cambodia, and also Naren Saint Jameson, live from Washington, D.C., Maryland, for joining with us to discuss on today's very interesting topic entitled The Fifth Precept, No Intoxicants. Of course, we have been discussing about the four precepts from no killing, no stealing, no sexual misconduct, no telling lies, and today is the last of the fifth precept, and it is very important for our lay practitioner in order to abide by and follow the path of Buddhism in order to attain peace and happiness. So today we are very fortunate to have invited two Dhamma speaker to share with us today. Let me introduce our speakers. First, we have Nyom Naren Saint Jameson from Maryland, D.C. She graduated Lycée Sisavat Phnom Penh, Cambodia in 1966, and she went to France to further her education in 1968, returned to Cambodia and joined the national airline company Royal Air Cambodia as flight attendant in 1970, and joined the U.S. Embassy in Phnom Penh in 1972, and then she went to Washington, D.C., study Americanization in Georgetown University in 1974, and then she joined World Bank in 1976, and she got married to U.S. Foreign Service officer. She has two children. From then on, she followed her spouse on assignment overseas. In 1993, returned to Washington, D.C. and worked at the World Bank until her retirement in 2012. She expected a quiet life after retirement, but it became as eventual as while working. She travels extensively and continues serving her community and the temples in Washington, D.C. area. At the same time, she participated in several meditation groups and studied Bali and Buddha Dhamma. I'm very happy to have you here, Nyom Naren Saint. Thank you for accepting invitation to join with our program today. And next we have Most Venerable Dr. Vajrapanyo Kusupip. He is a professor of management and leadership dynamics, character building, and personal growth and development at Panya Sastra University of Cambodia, PUC. He is very well known outside and inside social media platforms, promoting Buddha's teachings and leadership skills, and a very sought after speaker. At the time being, his Facebook page has over 2 million followers, which make his teachings on social media widely spread. Venerable Doctor graduated PhD in Educational Management and Leadership at PUC and was a visiting scholar to Troy University, USA. He currently devotes his time and efforts promoting message of peace and mental healing to people of all ages and all social status through teaching, lecturing, preaching Dhamma talks, storytelling, writing books and articles, audio and video recording, and recently through directing a very popular film known as Bhikkhu Panejo, the Nomadic Monk. I have seen that on the Facebook. And Venerable Doctor is also very well recognized for his vast capacity in giving motivational speech, which captures the mind of all to enjoy listening to him. He is described as best at simplifying and explaining the Buddha's teaching in simplicity, and his speech inspires millions of people, both old and young alike. He authored several books related to mental health using Buddhist approach, and Venerable Doctor is permanently reside at Wat Nikrot1, Kulateng, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. So thank you so much for joining with our program today. Today I just try to share a little bit of our speakers' biography. Of course, both of the speakers have even more detailed biography than that, but I just would like to pick up from what I have learned from both of the speakers so far. So today, yeah, actually it is very honor to have both of the speakers join in the Buddha Sasana English program, which is organized by the Cambodian Buddhist Monk Society in USA. And today we are discussing about the fifth precept, no intoxicant, no alcoholic drinks and drugs, if we may translate it from the Pali phrases as Sura, Meriya, Majapama, Tatthana, Veramani, Sikha, Badang, Samadhiyami. So I would like to put this first question to Most Honorable Dr. Vajrapanyao Kusupir from Cambodia to explain a little bit about this Pali term. What does it mean about this fifth precept as we usually recite it in the Pali language? Please, Bhante. Yeah, please unmute yourself.
I would like to pay my high tribute to the Triple Gym, Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, respected most vulnerable and Venerable Soktivi and Nyom. Very nice to see you from Cambodia. As Venerable Soktivi already mentioned, I think drinking is maybe always popular among people, and it also causes a lot of suffering to themselves and to the family. So Sura Meriya Majapama Tatthana Veramani Sikhabadam Madhyami means I refrain from intoxication. So not just drink alcohol, but it's also include drug that severely damage the brain of the user. And there are a lot of there are many types of drinks and intoxicants and drugs. So to be short, the substances that are harmful or that destroy the mindfulness, that is include the Sora and Meriya. Okay.
Thank you so much, Bhante, for sharing from Buddhist perspective how what's the meaning of Sura Meriya as explained in the fifth precept. So any substance that leads to make us drunk or addicted and to make us lose our concentration and mindfulness, that can be regarded as a Sura Meriya here. So it's not just alcohol, but some types of substances may also be included. So to further understand about that, I would like to turn this question to Nyom Naren Singh. Maybe you can have, elaborate from the medical point of view or from scientific research about, the word intoxicants. How would you define or how do you understand the word intoxicant in this context?
សូម ថ្វាយបង្គំព្រះអង្គទាំងពីរព្រះអង្គសូមថ្វាយបង្គំសូមគោរពញាតិមិត្តទាំងអស់ដែលបានមកអញ្ជើញមក I would like to pay respect to the two venerable Dr. Kusupir and Venerable Sok TV, and I thank you, and it is an honor to be able to participate, to be a discussion in your program, and I hope that this program can help young people to realize that Buddhism is a way of life in our country, so we can prosper ourselves and the society and the country. I thank you. Talking about intoxicant is a substance that can destroy your body, no matter alcohol or drug or marijuana or all of these intoxicants destroy our body, and we receive bad result every time we are taking it. At the beginning, you enjoy yourself. You think that, oh, it distract ourselves from worriness, from sadness. But once it becomes a habit, it is destructive. It is not good for your body. It causes your liver, it burns your liver, and it not only like that, your mind is not clear. Even if you in a family, you don't see anything, you come home intoxicated, you see your family like enemy, and be upset with your family, hitting them or quarreling with them. This cause unhappiness among all of them. So it is not a good idea to be involved in intoxication um, of your body. So I think that the best way is to, I would like, as a person, an elderly Cambodian woman who never drank, I would like to guide young people to think twice before taking drug, alcohol, or before taking any other drugs. Think twice. If you just try the first time, you are happy, and then once you are addicted to it, you are not going to be happy. Nothing is going to be good.
It cause a lot of problem, right? When
Because
people get drunk.
yes, it causes a problem. You cannot drive. And in America, if you drive while intoxicated, it is it's a very severe offense. The police will stop you. Even you can even go to jail by if they measure your breath. If you have a certain amount of drink, more than it is you're supposed to have, they stop you, they take you to the police station and leave you there, and you have to go to court. You have to hire a lawyer to help you with this, and it costs money, it costs unhappiness in the family, and it affects your job as well. So that's the reason why think twice before you start drinking or taking marijuana. Yes.
Thank you so much. When you talk about the things in America which relates with the intoxicants, I heard there is like people who who can buy the alcohol. They have to have like the license, right? And at least at the age of 21 years. Otherwise, it will not be sold. So I think that is also the way to kind of limit the boundary, because if anyone can get access to it, so it will be spoiled, and especially some adult or youths, they like to enjoy, by partying, sometimes they think it is a way of socializing with people, drinking all the things. So is it true that what I have mentioned here, is it something that happened in America, right?
Yes, when you go to the liquor store, you want to buy wine, you want to buy beer, they ask for and see your age, and if you are not old enough to buy the drinks, they don't allow you. So that's the reason why it is it is a good idea for the government, the United States government, to limit the consumption. And but taking alcohol has many bad consequences to your life, to your body, to your family, to the society surrounding you. But also you have to think in a Buddhist way that it has a merit. If you don't take alcohol, if you tell yourself that I'm not going to take to drink alcohol, then you will have a kosala, you will have merit by following the rules of Buddhism. So yes, so I think I would like to guide you all.
Thank you so much, for sharing with us. Venerable Doctor, you have anything to add to that? I think you have visited USA for some times, and have you noticed, like the differences or similarity, the way how, I think everywhere people drink, right? But the way to manage these things should be, should be conducted so that it can alleviate, bring awareness to our society.
What I noticed from my visit to the US is that the advertisement on the street, there's no alcohol advertisement, so that it would be good. The age of drinking, if sometimes we don't have that limit in Cambodia, so the young boy and girl start drinking even in their early age, and sometimes they follow the footsteps of their parents, and sometimes the adult teach them to drink. And that is so, in terms of feelings, those disappointed to see the adult take video forcing the young children to drink and post it on Facebook. That is so, very harmful to the brain of the young boy and girl. And then I think the limitation of the age of the drinker is one way, and the prohibition of the advertisement on the street is also good. And maybe, if I'm not wrong, Nyom, is that allowed to advertise alcohol on TV in the US? Is it allowed to advertise?
Yes, they have they advertise on the TV in the US the alcohol, but they also said that they have the warning.
A warning.
The warning not to drink too much. I can't believe that in Cambodia there are parents teaching their children to drink. It is unthinkable. I could not believe that.
It's just a small amount of people.
Small number of people.
I
can understand. But still, it is even just a few people doing this. It is too few people, too much, too many, too. And yes, and it's called ignorance, I guess. If you hear the teaching at the temple, you go to the temple that there is no drink. I have friends who ask me about Sura Meraya too, that they want to take the 5 precepts, but they cannot
stop.
do it because the Sura Meraya they need to have, but they know their limit. they know their limit. They just drink for just to be able to socialize with other friends and to be like other friends. So I think, is it okay if you don't drink too much, Venerable
Yes,
Doctor?
good question, Venerable Doctor. What you say about that? I was thinking about that question too, because in Buddhism we use the word moderation, right? Everything
Kena.
go in moderation. What if people take that in moderation?
So moderation it's a wrong moderation. So according to the precept Surameri, you just take a little bit and
It is.
yeah, it is. You break the
It
rule.
is.
You break
Yeah.
the fifth precept.
I can
So, but the
understand.
severity of akusala, the severity of it is less according to the amount of your consumption. If you
Yes.
you are a heavy drinker, you get drunk a lot every day. So the severity is
It's
heavy,
more.
is more. But if you just take some time in Cambodian tradition, they thought that alcohol or tanam is a medicine. I don't know. Yeah. In that, you still break the rule because you already take you take the alcohol, but in terms of severity is less because the intention is not that much. Okay.
You still have that in mind, that, oh, I should not do that. Is that okay? Yeah. How about the good result, the merits of not drinking alcohol? What is the merit, Venerable?
I would refer this question to Venerable Soktiwi, so you now become the speaker. So what are the merit? What are the result of observing the fruit precept? Okay.
If you don't drink, if you abstain
drink
yourself completely and you respect the five precept thoroughly.
Yeah, it's just the opposite. Actually, it's just the opposite, right? If we drink, we lose the sense of control ourselves. We lose the sense of our mindfulness, concentration. And, in the fifth precept, it is mentioned also that if you break the fifth one, the other four also is, there is a tendency to break the other four, right? When you lose the sense of control, then you can easily commit, the killing, the stealing, the sexual misconduct, the telling lies as well. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So when we are able to restrain, to practice this precept by abstaining, I think the advantage we gain is, to gain more concentration. We have our mind stay concentrated and control, right?
Yes. Oh, that's good to know. So you have to really, everyone, you have to really observe the five precept well, because if you break one precept, that means you break all the five precept. So try your best.
I think because based on your age, you are like elderly person, so you have a lot of experience, like your life have been through, many generation in Cambodian society. How would you see, the generation in the past and the generation at the present, in terms of consuming alcoholic drinks or intoxicant? How would you compare,
Good question. Good question, Nikun. I lived through the 50s. To tell you the truth, in the countryside, there are many more people drinking, especially men, on the street, walking, wobbling, because of the effect of the alcohol. In the 50s, when I was small, I saw many of them, of those drunkard in the street. But as I grew older, but in the 60s, people become more aware of the bad consequences. I think I see less. And in the 70s, early 70s, I left the country in early 70s. I started seeing the people, the drunkard again. The reason why, because maybe unhappiness about the situation in the country, and the availability of the alcohol too. Western alcohol, like a whiskey, like a Martell, all kinds of fancy, expensive alcohol, brand of alcohol that used to be difficult to find. And when the Westerners returned to Cambodia before, when the war just started, then maybe that's the reason, and people want to have the taste of those new alcohol for them, good taste. They think that those alcohols is good taste, and also maybe a sense of pride to have used expensive alcohol. And it's not only using just to taste, it becomes addicted. So I saw more addicted, more drunkard in the society going. Yeah, but in the 50s and mid 50s to early 70s, it's okay. Did not see, and I left the country in early 72.
I'd like to raise a question to you, Nyom.
Yes.
Did you see any advertisement during the 50, the 60? I mean, alcoholic advertisement.
No, to tell you the truth, I don't remember. I don't remember seeing it. I don't remember seeing big advertisement of the alcohol like now. I think that's true. It's not good, because you have to limit the advertisement, I guess. And don't know what to say. It's difficult.
So another question to you, Nyom. Did they have the law to limit the age of the drinker during that
At that time?
I mean, yeah,
No,
at that time.
no. When I grew up there, I did not think that there were law that limit the age of drinking either. No, we never have that. Okay. It's only when I came to America that I know that the law is very strict for alcohol. And I was kind of surprised, and then also admired the organization of the country. Yes, because the young people are very are the ones that they need to guide the most, so they do the right thing. They do the right thing here.
When I was on TV, I read an article a few years ago related to the alcoholic consumption during among Buddhist countries. So they compare Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, and Sri Lanka. So we are in a good ranking. I mean, in terms of drinking alcohol.
They're good, right?
Yeah, good ranking.
Good. And the one thing that they analyze is that in Laos, in Thailand, they have a law. They limit the age of the drunkard. They limit the time. They limit the place, the availability. I think when I was on TV, went to I went to Myanmar and Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, alcoholic consumption is very strict. So
that's very good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they narrow the availability of the alcohol is very limited.
Yes, specifically the Buddhist observance day, they don't sell alcohol, they don't sell meat, through the whole country. They I think that it's become a law right now. It is like
Yes.
illegal to sell alcohol and meat on the Buddhist observance day, Sila day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What country
That's
is that?
very good.
Okay.
That's
What
really good.
country is that, Venerable Sokti? Is that Myanmar or Sri Lanka?
Sri Lanka, yeah, Sri
So
Lanka.
I
And,
would, you stay there longer than me. I mean, I just go to visit.
yeah.
But how do you observe the practice of the fifth precept back in Sri Lanka or maybe in Myanmar?
Yeah, I think I can talk about Myanmar. Back in those days, because I was there from 2007, 2011. It was not much, not many people like to drink wine or beer, and because I think one thing, the Burma is not a very civilized country, as we see. It's like even not so civilized as Cambodia, so the marketplace and also the modernization is not there. And people like to eat the bitter nuts, right? Malusla. So most of the people, young, old, women and men, they always enjoy with their bitter nuts. So I think that's one of the reasons they avoid drinking wine. And also because most of the people are Buddhist and they are very practical Buddhists, they practice Buddhist.
Very, very,
Yeah,
yes.
I respect that.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I lived in Burma for three years. I don't remember. I did not see too many of those drunkards in the street, or not even, maybe very, very, very rarely.
Very
Don't
rare,
even remember. Yeah. In Sri
When
Lanka.
was that, Nyom? I'm sorry to interrupt. When did you stay in
1990 to 93.
Okay.
long time.
It's a good time. It's a good time because we were at the beginning, we were not able to travel far, only 60 kilometers radius. And after a year or so, they became used to American. The relation became better, so they opened up a little further and further, so we were able to travel all over. At the end of our stay, the foreigners can even go to Mogok, which is like in country old days, like trong cặp một nhiều ngày hay bên trái cái lại nó mean they have a lot of precious stones, like
Ruby and
ruby,
apple, yeah.
ruby
Ruby.
and they have a lot. So we were even able to go and visit that area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I think let's get back to Buddhism. I want to hear from Venerable Doctor from the Buddhist perspective. I was wondering why the Buddha laid down this training rule. If we look back at the Buddha's time, I think you'd like what we call the Western alcohol, types of wine, whiskey, some wine, vodka, a lot of things were not there in the times of the Buddha. But why did the Buddha lay down this training rule, as a precept, as a rule of practice for our lay practitioner? Do you know the reason behind that? Ande?
Actually, that precept exists even before the Buddha. I mean, in terms of the 5 precepts, as you already know. Yeah, so that is a basic, there's a fundamental practices to live a happy family life. And among the 5, taking alcohol is severely damage the relationship within the family, within this society. I mean, in terms of family, we can see the domestic violence, the illness started from drinking alcohol, and the cause of life of the drinker themselves. I think the Buddha saw it clearly in his mind that drinking alcohol not just destroying the physical body, but also destroys the mentality of the person, of the drinker, especially. So one, the mentality is destroy means you destroy your own life. That's why the Buddha put that precept among the 5 precepts as a fundamental practice of the lay practitioner.
Yeah, so Pandey, can you move on talking about the disadvantages as taught by the Buddha? Like, what are the disadvantages, by consuming alcohol from the Buddhist perspective?
Okay, so in terms of the bad consequences of drinking alcohol, we can divide it into 2, the present consequences. So like you lose your money to the beer, to the alcohol, you lose your time, you lose your friendships, and according to Buddhism, even you are drunk, you are drunkard, and then no one may come to see your daughter because you are always drink every day.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
name. Yes.
Bad name, yeah. To the family, to the next generation. That is a present consequences. And in Buddhism also talk about the future consequences. You will be born in hell, in Peta, ghost. I mean, what do you say? What do you call it?
Like hungry
Yeah,
ghost.
hungry ghost.
Yeah.
Asura, yeah.
Asura.
And also animal realm. So those, according to the Buddhism, those who drink a lot, and the next life will be born in those realms. And also, if you were born as human being, you have less intelligence.
Right.
You were born to the same family, to the same mother, to the same family, the father, but in terms of intelligence, in terms of capacity to learn, you have less because of that bad consequence of drinking.
Decrease the memory, right? Decrease.
Yeah. So in the present consequence, I mean, you can see, I mean, the WHO also put alcoholic consumption into one factors of killing worldwide. Drinking alcohol is cause, maybe if I don't get it, sorry, if I am not wrong, about 300 types of diseases generated from drinking alcohol, according to WHO. So that is the present consequence. I think the Buddha already mentioned 2,500 years ago, and then now they said that, and they advise especially young people not to drink, because I listened to one research conducted in France, and then they conclude that the amount of alcoholic that you take and that is not harmful for your health is 0. I am surprised that not the Buddhist research to conduct that types of research, that is a scientist conduct the research, and they conclude that the amount of alcohol for the safe drinking is 0, so don't drink.
Don't drink. Yeah, even a little bit. I mean, like the people here, they drive, they take the driver license test, so they also have that rule, in the test exam. If you remember, when we want to drive, if you are drinking and even you consume, you have the alcohol amount of alcohol like 0.02, right? 0.02, then you will be fined.
Yes, you will. Yes. How about the wine, venerables? Because in France, people they say that they have to drink wine. That's the reason why they have long age, old. They live long life. Is that I know because they don't think about Buddhism because they are not Buddhist. The French, the European, the Christians, they are not Buddhist, and so it is okay for those people when they reborn, they don't have intelligence like what it is in the Buddhist belief.
I think drinking alcohol is not divided. You are Christian, you are Buddhist. You drink, you get drunk. That is universal.
Your own karma, yeah.
Your own karma. So the consequences is not okay. You are Buddhist, you will receive this. Is you are Christian, you will receive that. So it depends on your own karma, and whatever you've done, that karma will give it return back to you. Okay.
Yes.
So Nyoma, can you explain a little bit? Can you indicate, some of the best consequences based on social perspective, like from society, in terms of, what happened when people consume alcohol or get addicted to alcohol? So what happened to the individual level and also to family level and social level? Can you indicate a little bit more?
Yes, the consequences are many. And if you are really, really addicted, you will lose everything, such as as your family. The family will abandon you if you drink too much. Soon or later, they will abandon you, and then you because you become violent, you mistreat them, you do all kinds of unhappiness, give unhappiness to them, you cause unhappiness to them, and you lose your work, you lose your work, you lose friendships, and you can cause accident, you can, and your status in society, no matter how important you if you are not, completely addicted, alcoholic, then you will not your status will be completely diminished as well. You go around everywhere, people will whisper to each other, oh, he's alcoholic. Yeah. So you don't want, and your liver will become damaged, and that is very, very, very sad to see people.
To the liver, right? Damage the liver.
Yes, damage, completely damaged to the liver. And so
Yeah, sometimes
guide for young people is to avoid.
Yeah, sometimes when we stay close to the drunkard, we smell something unpleasant, right?
Yes.
I don't want to
Yes.
go by those people. So that's just a simple experience we have been through. And okay, let me move to another question. I think concerning with this idea of consuming alcohol. Let's talk from like the way to get away from it. I know that some people, they already get addicted to drinking, and drinking has become their habit, especially some of my families and relatives, in native my hometown. They say I always advise them to try to stop drinking. Even my own sibling, my brother, he said, oh, it's so hard to quit it. When you start drinking, you always wish to drink more, right?
Oh, no.
And so I just want to know the way from Venerable Dr. Kuzupipa, from Buddhist point of view, is there any way to help, people who are addicted to drinking? What is your advice? So you're mute.
I would say associate with good friends is the very first step to change your mind.
Good
Yeah,
idea.
yeah. And the second one is your own commitment, your own self. You cannot be forced to do that. You need to have your own conviction, your own commitment to quit it. So I would say the quitter is the winner here.
The quitter is the winner. Yes, yes, yes.
uh, Anything that along the way, once you far away from bad friends, so you disconnect yourself from the feeling of having more alcohol, and associated with good friends, they advise you to do this, to do that, to go to the temple. I met several people. They approached me, and they told me that before they was a heavy drinker. They are drunkard. But when they listen to the Dharma, they eventually understand the bad consequences. They, I mean, what we call Yonisao Manasikara. They try to think, have a positive daily positive reflection. Eventually, they commit themselves. Okay, I stop. And they approach me. They say, "Thank you very much for having the Dharma every day." They can listen, and then they can change their own attitude and their behavior. So once they have that strong commitment, they disconnect themselves from bad friends, and they associate with good friends, and they listen to the Dharma every day. So they do something differently. I mean, maybe go and do the gardening, or helping your family, or do this and do that. And then if more from my father's experience, he before, in the village, the people just invite him. Okay, please come and have some small drink, and please come and have some small drink. And my father always rejected politely. Politely. He didn't drink. I'm sorry, I didn't drink. At first they invited, but later they knew that my father didn't drink, and then no longer invitation.
Yeah, we have to say the truth. Otherwise,
Yeah,
they keep calling, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
If I may add,
yeah, please, yeah.
Venerable, yes. If I may add about the way to get out of alcoholism. In America, they have a center. Most business firm, they all have a program for alcoholic to cure themselves, and they send them to a center to cure alcoholism, and the program is very, very strict. That means you don't have time to think about alcohol or anything at all. You go to bed at 11 o'clock. You wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and all from 6 o'clock on, you have breakfast. You go to the gym. You do a lot of exercise, and you read. They have programs. Thousands and thousands of people having to go through this program, and most of the time it worked. But the program is very, very strict. It's like becoming a soldier, like in the military soldier training. Yes.
Yeah, that's very great. Yeah, thank you for sharing with that. I remember also when I joined the Vipassana in Goenka Center, they also talk about some people, they were addicted to drinking. Even one of the leader in Burma, he was like the leader of the country back in those days, 1960. He was very addicted to drinking, and he went to the teacher of Oingaji, Yajio Bakin, he asked, is there any way to quit drinking? So he said, okay, come and practice Vipassana with me for 10 days. You will know the way to get away from drinking. Then he joined the Vipassana program for 10 days. And since that day, when he left it, after the 10-day course, even to smell, even the smell of alcohol will make him vomit. So he tried to get away from that, But before that, he cannot stop drinking at all. He said, how can I quit drinking? Because when he was born in a rich family, in a government family, generation to generation, after the baby born into the family, the first present that they give is the, very brand new, very expensive, luxurious wine and champagne, something. So they become,
champagne, yes.
Yeah, that become like traditional in those days. That's why every child in that family used to drink since the day they born, and that's why it's hard to quit, But fortunately, he came across this technique of Vipassana. So when he joined the Vipassana, for 10 days, you're not allowed to do anything to drink, or even you eat vegetarian, right? So it's good to sometimes associate with, good people at the right time to learn to train our mind, right?
Yes. I think you have to have a nisai there.
Yeah. That's why we have to associate with the good companions, good associate, like Venerable Doctor was just saying, like in the analogy of the banana leaf, right? Banana leaves, if you pack the pahok, you smell bad. If you pack the flower, the jasmine, it smells good. So in the same way, our association with other people, if we associate with the drunkard, for sure we will always be called to join drinking all the time, right? But if we associate with the wise, if we associate with the person who always do bon, do good, go to the temple, then we start to feel like moral shame, right? We feel shameful. Okay, now I'm old, but I'm still drinking, no good. Other people, they try to do good, refrain from all the drinking, so I should stop. So being associate with good friends also can make our habit to eliminate from drinking.
I think that's the best is the association.
Okay.
So let's look a little bit more. I think we will run out of time because I see that in Cambodia, let's say specifically, a lot of car accident also happen because of the drinking, and specifically the government of Cambodia also issue the law. If you if you drink, don't drive. Yeah, if you try, don't drink. So but it still happen. I mean, it still happen. So I think it's a matter of responsibility, right? So I would like to ask each of the speaker to provide just a kind of takeaway message to encourage our people if they want to stop drinking. What is the message to all of them? How can we explain our younger generation, especially we worry about our adults? Sometimes they don't really see the bad consequences from consuming alcohol, because of ignorance. They only feel enjoy in whatever they do, being associated with their social friends, but they don't realize the bad consequence caused by alcohol. So I would like to ask for your last message. Maybe start from Yom Naren. Do you have any last message concerning with alcoholism?
My last message to the young people and to everyone is associate yourself with good friends. And if you need help, you just go to the pagoda asking for help, and the monk, the venerables will guide you to do the meditation. and also give you a lecture about the good and the bad, about the kusal and akusal of the of, of the alcoholism too. That's, I think that's all I can
Thank
I
you.
can
Thank
think
you so
of for
much.
the moment.
Thank you so much for sharing your last message concerning today's topic, and I would like to turn this to Venerable Kusapip. Yom has just put that if they want to stop drinking, go to meet the monk. So suppose if there are a lot of people approach you to ask for the advice, how can I, like build the habit of not drinking if I already get addicted? So what is your message?
I that is what I want to have in Cambodia, is a center for, I mean, those who alcoholic. So how can, what do they call in the US, what kind of
Center Kim Kana, I am trying to think what is center for now
there's
the
something like that, something like
I'm yeah,
reducing or refraining from taking alcoholic something. Yeah.
yes.
Yes, so I beside the temple, yeah, temple is a good place because we have that rule of not taking alcohol inside the temple. But I think that there should be a center for alcoholic person to go there and to have strict rule, and then they follow. Maybe they can invite monk to be there to give advice, but they need to have a specific place for that. And then it's
We
one
cannot
thing.
just speak, right? And we cannot just
Yeah,
speak. We have to do something, right?
they will have to do something like meditation, like that, all kinds of training for it. Replace that drinking activities. Replace that doing something else. But one more thing, my last word is that you drink, you lose your money, you lose your time, you lose your health. And why drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's such a waste, right?
Yeah. And the one who gain is the one who produced it. You didn't gain anything. Why?
You drink, you think you enjoy, but as a consequence, you lost your health, you lost your money, even
You
you
lost your
lost your
time.
life.
You
Lost your
lost your
life.
life. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
No
Okay. Thank
advantage,
you.
actually, no advantage.
No,
Only
but,
enjoyment at the present. It's just like a momentary enjoyment, right? And then it turned to sorrow and suffering. So I think reflecting on these bad consequences, people should rethink before they take it. Just like Nhom Naren had mentioned, people should think it twice or think it more before consuming alcohol, because once or twice it doesn't matter, but it will start to build the habit of drinking, because addiction will be there when you take it often. So thank you so much. I think because of the time has come, so I would like to conclude today's section by accumulating merit done from today's Dhammatana. And thank you so much again for both venerable speaker, both Dhamma speakers, venerable Master Dr. Kusapip, live from Cambodia, Wat Nikrotawan, Phnom Penh, and also Nhom Naren Saint Jameson from Washington DC, Maryland, for contributing the knowledge of Dhamma today concerning with the fifth precept, no intoxicants. I hope that our audience, especially our younger generation, have learned something about the disadvantages or the bad consequences which caused by alcoholism, and we'll try, step by step, take each step a day in order to stop this habit, because we know that it's not gonna give us any advantage, but it will make damage our liver, damage our health. It's such a waste of money and time. So in return, the Buddha advises for us to practice mindfulness, to practice sati, so that we develop our memory, we develop our positive thinking and concentration. I wish you all the best to all listener, may all beings be happy, be well, and be liberated from physical suffering and mental suffering. So, Namo Tene.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.